You are looking at a live view of the Falcon 9 as it awaits its 9:19 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. Good evening. It is January 6th here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. My name is Lauren Lyons, and I'm an engineer on the Starlink team here at SpaceX, and welcome to the first SpaceX launch of 2020. Now, as many of you know, we just launched 60 Starlink satellites back in November, and today we'll be launching another 60. That, combined with the additional 60 we launched back in May, bring our total count of Starlink satellites launched to over 180. With Starlink, SpaceX plans to bring high-speed, low-latency broadband internet to people across the globe, particularly to places where connectivity has been unreliable, too expensive, or even completely unavailable. Our goal is to start offering service in the northern United States and Canada later this year, expanding to a near-global constellation after another 22 launches. And of course, the more launches we have, the more opportunities we have to reuse these boosters. In fact, this one will be entering its fourth flight, the one that you see right there on the pad. This first stage first flew the Telstar 18 Vantage mission in September 2018, followed by the Iridium 8 mission in January 2019, and most recently, our first launch of 60 Starlink satellites back in May 2019.
This will be its fourth launch.
To recover this Falcon 9 first stage for the fourth time on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed about 339 nautical miles off the east coast of Florida. We will also be attempting to a payload fairing half using one.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute that real quick. I'm gonna step out after about 3 minutes to go. I'm gonna go try to see it. outside. Um, I don't anticipate seeing anything, and I'm not gonna have like a camera or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit away for about 10 minutes. Not even that. I'll take my phone out to have a chat and everything, but yeah. I won't be like doing commentary of it as it launches this time. I'm gonna go try to see it myself.
No-go poll at T-minus 38 minutes. Falcon 9 has been loading propellant since T-minus 35 minutes, and currently our rocket-grade kerosene, or what we call RP-1, is nearly fully loaded on the first stage, which is the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle that you see there on the screen. The first stage is responsible for accelerating the vehicle through Earth's atmosphere to the edge of space with the help of 9 Merlin engines. Above that first stage is the second stage, which has a single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine, which ignites after the first stage separates. The second stage is what will carry the Starlink satellites to an altitude of 290 kilometers above the Earth's surface. At this time, the second stage is fully loaded with fuel, and liquid oxygen is currently loading on both stages. The stack of 60 satellites is safely enclosed inside of the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is the pointed enclosure on the very top of the rocket, and you can see that right there on your screen. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we will deploy the fairing as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit. As for weather, looks like we have some mostly clear skies with some light winds, overall looking good for an on-time launch today in Cape Canaveral. But we will continue to monitor this all the way down to T-0 to ensure that weather remains good for launch. The Air Force range is prepared to support today's mission. Waters are clear of any ships, and the range continues to ensure the safety of our launch. With that, the vehicle, satellites, weather, and range are all looking good for an on-time liftoff just a few minutes from now.
Significantly less visible. While it's really cool to catch a glimpse of those satellites from the ground, they can sometimes be a distraction for astronomers.
I just realized my mic was muted
So
the
on
whole
this
time.
flight, Starlink is testing an experimental darkening treatment on
Nice.
one satellite in order to further reduce the
I was
light
basically
reflection
saying,
on the satellites.
explaining about the
We
rocket
also
and
make early
the various
satellite
parts of
tracking
it,
data available
and
to astronomers so they can better
what
coordinate
each
their
part
observations
does,
with their
and
satellites.
well,
These
what the
measures,
payload
along with our
was, the
work with leading
Starlink
astronomy
satellites.
groups, will enable SpaceX to bring internet access to underserved and unserved populations around the world without materially impacting views of the night sky.
We are currently about 5.5 minutes from liftoff. Falcon 9 is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. At T-7 minutes, engine chill began. This is where we allow a small amount of the super chilled liquid oxygen to flow into the Merlin engine turbo pumps prior to the full flow of liquid oxygen into the vehicle to avoid any shocks to the system.
Yeah, if you don't do that, there could be fractures, hairline fractures to the turbo pump blades, which you don't really want because that can lead to things blowing up.
Until just before liftoff. And when that super chilled liquid oxygen comes into contact with the ambient air around it, it creates the clouds that you will see around the vehicle on your screen right there. And just a few moments ago, or coming up in about 15 seconds actually, at T-4.5 minutes, the transport erector will retract away from the rocket slightly and provide some clearance of Falcon 9 for liftoff. You should be able to see that on your screen. The first and second stages are both nearly fully loaded with
What's
1
the,
million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen.
What's
First
the,
stage should finish prop loading at T-minus 3 minutes, and second stage at T-minus 2
sound suppression
minutes.
system going for?
At T-minus 60 seconds, be sure to listen in for the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers have taken over the launch countdown.
I can see it starting to
Starlink payloads continue to be healthy.
unclasp itself from the
Falcon
thing.
9
It's going to
team is
get
tracking no
ready to
issues on the rocket. Weather is looking good.
fold back
The
about a
range
degree and a
is
half.
green for launch. So let's listen in to the last few minutes of the countdown.
Those clamps are there to, oh, you can see it going now. Those clamps are there to support the second stage when it's being raised from horizontal to vertical, and also when it's being transported from the hangar to the pad. And then at launch, it'll fold back to about 60 degrees, about like that. All right, so you can see there's a bit of gas being spat out from the side here. That's just liquid oxygen boil off. It's normal. They put really cold. Oh, that was strange, but that's fine, I think. Anywho.
Stage 1 lock slow close down.
I'm gonna say that was lock slow close out, but I've never seen it look like that before. Probably just the way the wind's blowing. Anyway, basically, think of it as like you're pouring boiling water into a soda can, and then you seal it shut. It's gonna explode if you don't allow it to vent, which is what's going on here. That's just liquid oxygen boiling off. Alright, so coming up on 2 minutes, I think I'm gonna go outside and try and see it. I will come back in probably about T plus 7 minutes. Alright, so see you then.
Stage 2 lock slow is closed down. And vehicles on the internal power. Falcon 9 is in startup.
Go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff. Go Starlink to the Falcon, Space Force inaugural launch.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is normal.
We are T plus
Power and
45
telemetry
seconds
nominal.
into liftoff, and we have just had liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload. In just about 15 seconds from now, we will be passing through max Q. This is the largest
Vehicle is
aerodynamic
supersonic.
pressure that the vehicle will see throughout ascent. And we've got an awesome view of liftoff right now.
Vehicle is passing through maximum dynamic pressure.
And we just heard that call out for passing through max Q. Now coming up in about a minute will be a rapid succession of events, main engine cutoff, or what we call MECO, followed immediately by stage separation and SES-1, which is second engine start. Now MECO is where we shut down that main engine on the first stage booster to allow the vehicle to slow down just enough to separate
back
from
engine
second
chill.
stage. If you're just now joining us, we have an awesome onboard view of our vehicle, Falcon 9. And in about 30 seconds will be those three events: MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES-1. And there is MECO, as you saw those engines shut down.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there is stage separation and second engine start. You can see that second engine on your right screen glowing bright red. Now in about 20 seconds, we will have fairing deploy. And we should be able to see this on our screen as well. And on that left screen there, you can see the grid fins. It's a bit dark on the East Coast right now, so hard to see, but we did see those grid fins deploy.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there is fairing deploy. So as Lauren mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to catch one of the fairing halves on our recovery vessel, Miss Tree, but we will not be able to show this live, so check in with our social media for updates.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
That is beautiful. Now, there are a series of events coming up with both Stage 1 and Stage 2 before we reach our parking orbit and enter that first coast phase. The first is the Stage 1 entry burn. That is when Stage 1 is re-entering the Earth's upper atmosphere. It will reignite 3 of its Merlin 1D engines in order to slow the vehicle down as it re-enters so that it doesn't break apart, because we want to land it. That burn's going to last for just under 20 seconds or so, and at that point, the burn will end. You'll hear the call-out entry burn shut down. A couple minutes after that, we will see our Stage 1 landing burn. That is where we will reignite one engine, E9. It's that one right in the middle. And it's going to burn for just over 20 seconds and hopefully leave Stage 1 standing up nice and tall on that drone ship. But at the very
Second
same
stage on
time,
nominal trajectory.
as you just heard, second stage is on a nominal trajectory. That's really good news. And speaking of second stage, right as the drone ship lands, you should hear the call out for SECO 1. That's where we shut down the second stage engine to enter that coast phase. So far, Stage 2's trajectory continues to be nominal. Stage 1 has also drifted up to its highest altitude and is now beginning its descent. That's that image over to the left. It's dark outside. Oh, dark in space. All right, in about 10 seconds, you should see that entry burn start on your
Stage
left
1
side.
FTS is saved.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
All right.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
And we just had a good shutdown of that entry burn. Meanwhile, the second stage continues at full power with over 200,000 pounds of thrust.
Stage 2 following nominal trajectory.
All right, looks like we lost signal, but that's fine. We should be acquiring it again soon.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to
Now
see anything.
Stage 2 continues to burn, taking
Just a little
those
bit too
Starlink
dark.
Satellites to their first parking orbit. Stage 1 is coasting down.
But
steering
I'm
its
back
way
just in
using
time
those
for the
burns down to the
fairing,
drillship.
or not the fairing, but first stage
About
recovery.
Plus 8 minutes and 3 seconds.
Still cold out there.
We're going to see that landing burn start.
Stage
and
1,
hopefully
entry transonic.
Stage 1 is
And it gets weird,
transonic.
we've just
It's
gone
listening speed of sound now.
on stage 1 as it's making its way back down to the drone ship.
Landing burn will start momentarily.
So the atmosphere is actually what's slowing the vehicle down, stage 1, as it's now re-entering the Earth's atmosphere and coming down to the thicker parts.
We'll have
That's
the
what slows the
landing coming up
vehicle down.
momentarily.
Stage 1, landing burn startup.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See the light from the rocket.
You can see that light on the left. Stage 1
Stage 2
making
is
its
under
way.
terminal guidance.
Stage 1, landing leg
Alright.
deploy.
Oh, it kept camera. Well, it appears to have landed.
yes.
There it is.
We have another landing. This is the 4th landing of this vehicle and the 48th Falcon 9 first stage landing to date. It was awesome.
It's a little off center, but that'll do.
We got video the whole time. That was cool.
I know, right?
All right, stage 2
Stage
still
2
doing work.
FTS is saved.
Seco should be coming up any moment.
Seco.
Yeah,
We
see,
just-
I'm
we lost
about
video,
right
but
around
we
in
heard
here.
confirmation of
Well, maybe
Seco.
about right around in
Came
here.
as expected.
I looked out this way, but
Let's listen.
I couldn't see
We're in
anything.
good orbit.
Confirms good experience.
We were able to see apparently really well
Alright,
the
and GNC has
Starliner
confirmed
launch
the orbital
a few weeks
insertion.
ago, but
Now with that, we're about to
Apparently
enter
not
close
this
phase,
one.
So we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be leaving you with this cool animation that lets you visualize where Falcon and the Starlink satellites are on orbit. We'll be back at about T plus 44 minutes for a second stage relay, followed by another post
Newfoundland
period and
acquisition
then
of signal.
deployment of the Starlink 60 satellites.
yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll leave the animation and music going and everything, but I'll just take a quick break for the next 40 minutes. Let you keep listening to that and come back then and cover the second burn and then hopefully the deploy of the Starlink satellites, because that's always fun to watch.
Loss of signal expected. Loss of signal expected Newfoundland. Goon Hilly acquisition. Loss of signal Goon Hilly expected.
Alright, so let's go back and watch a bit of a replay. Since I missed it because I went out and was looking for them. We'll start from there. 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds.
Got the big vent there. From what I saw, it was a decent launch, but not a great one.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Got the rainbirds going there
3, 2,
for the sound suppression
1,
system.
0. Ignition.
Engine start.
Liftoff. Go Starlink to the Falcon. Space Force inaugural launch.
Man, it just goes now, doesn't it?
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion nominal.
It just goes. They've gotten those Merlin engines so
We
powerful.
are
The
T
TWR
plus
is just
45 seconds
so high, it
into
just goes.
liftoff, and we have just had liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload. In just about 15 seconds from now, we will be passing through max Q. This is the largest
Vehicle is
aerodynamic
supersonic.
pressure that the
Just
vehicle
went
will see
supersonic.
throughout ascent. And we've got an awesome view of liftoff right now.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Vehicle is passing through maximum dynamic pressure.
And we just
Max
heard
Q,
that call out,
that's,
passing through max Q.
Most
Now coming up in about a
aerodynamic
minute
pressure on the
will
vehicle.
be a rapid succession of events. Main
It's
engine
pushing the
cutoff, or
hardest
what we
into the
call
atmosphere
MECO,
that it will
followed
throughout the entire
immediately
flight.
by stage separation and SES-1, which is second engine start. Now MECO is where we shut down that main engine on the first stage booster to allow the vehicle to slow down just enough to separate
Back
from
engine
second
chill.
stage.
Right there you can start to see the engine plume expanding due to the low atmospheric pressure at the altitude that it's at, which is 23 kilometers.
If you're just now joining us, we have an awesome onboard view of our vehicle Falcon 9. And in about 30 seconds will be those three events: MECO, main engine cutoff, stage separation, and SES-1.
Look at that. I wish I was closer to the coast so I can see that. Oh well. Won't be the last time I'll have an opportunity to see a launch. There's MECO.
And there is MECO, as you saw those engines shut down.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there is stage separation and second engine start. You can see that second engine on your right screen glowing bright red. Now in about 20
I always love this
seconds, we will
shot.
have
Look, you
fairing
can see
deploy.
the entirety
And
of
we should
Central
be able to
Florida
see this
there.
on our screen as well.
Looks like
And on that left screen
Tampa,
there,
I
you can
think.
see the grid fins. It's,
No.
it's a bit dark on the east coast
St. Petersburg
right now, so hard to
there.
see, but we did see those grid fins deploy.
And Tampa there, I guess. Orlando there, obviously. The Cape is there. Daytona Beach up here.
Fairing
West Palm
separation.
Beach and all that down there.
There is fairing deploy. So as Lauren mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to catch one of the fairing halves on our recovery vessel, Miss Tree, but we will not be able to show this live, so check in with our social media for updates.
You know Lynn's gonna tweet that, so. Elon. I think I might trying to butcher that name there. Yeah, there's black. Because ocean.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
is beautiful. Now, there are a series of events coming up with both Stage 1 and Stage 2.
I wish I got a chance to see that. Oh well.
The first is the Stage
I'll be able to
1
see.
entry
I'll
burn.
try to see the
That is when Stage
satellites in
1
this
will
one. Might have a
re-enter
better
the Earth's upper atmosphere.
shot doing
It
so
will
than last
reignite
time.
3 of its Merlin 1D engines in order to slow the vehicle down as it re-enters so that it doesn't break apart, because we want to land it. That burn's going to last for just under 20 seconds or so, and at that point, the burn will end. You'll hear the call-out entry burn shut down. A couple minutes after that, we will see our Stage 1 landing burn. That is where we will reignite one engine, E9, it's that one right in the middle, and it's going to burn for just over 20 seconds and hopefully leave Stage 1 standing up nice and tall on that drone ship. But at the very
Second
same
stage on
time,
nominal trajectory.
as you just heard, second stage is on a nominal trajectory. That's really good news.
12 minutes for the
And
second
speaking of
engine
second
start up.
stage, right as the drone ship lands, you should hear the call out for SECO 1. That's where we shut down the second stage engine to enter that coast phase. So far, Stage 2's trajectory continues to be.
Yeah, I didn't get to see anything like that. It would have been really close. It would have been really low on the horizon.
Stage 1 has also drifted up to its highest altitude and is now beginning its descent. That's that image over to the left. It's dark outside,
We'll be starting to see.
dark in space.
Those are reaction control system firings. We'll see the entry burn start up momentarily.
Right, in about 10 seconds, you should see that entry burn start on your
Stage 1
left side.
FTS is saved.
Oh, it's already entering the atmosphere. Look at that.
Stage 1 entry.
There we
burn
go.
startup.
Back to the outer engines.
All right.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And we just had a good shutdown of that entry
It's just
burn.
look at the
Meanwhile,
look at the
second stage
heating.
continues
Look at the
at full
heating.
power with
That's
over
insane.
200,000 pounds of thrust.
Stage 2 following nominal trajectory.
All right, looks like we lost signal, but that's fine. We should be acquiring it again soon.
Landing will be coming up in a couple
Now,
minutes, in a couple
Stage 2
seconds.
continues to burn, taking those Starlink satellites to their first parking orbit. Stage 1 is coasting down, steering its way using those grid fins down to the drone ship. At about T plus 8 minutes and 3 seconds, right around there, you're going to see that landing burn start. and
Stage 1
hopefully-
entry transonic.
Oh, and as you just heard, we've just gone transonic on Stage 1 as it's making its way back down to the drone ship.
Yeah, any moment
So
now.
The atmosphere is actually what's slowing the vehicle down, Stage 1, as it's now re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. And coming
In a
out to
couple
thicker
seconds,
parts.
the landing burn will
That's what slows
start,
the
and
vehicle
then
down.
we'll switch over and we
Stage
can see
1
it. They
landing
actually
burn
kept
startup.
the video signal for the entirety of the landing, which is
Right.
great. You can see the engine light from the engine on the off the water
See
there.
that light on the left? Stage 1
Stage 2
making
is
its
under
way.
terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg
Alright.
deploy.
If only they could keep the signal like that for a daylight landing.
Yes. We have another landing. This is the 4th landing of this vehicle and the 48th Falcon 9 first stage landing to date. It was awesome. And we got video the whole time. That was cool. All right, Stage 2 is still
Stage 2
doing work.
FTS is saved.
Oh, it was great to see one.
SECO should be
See
coming
one
up
come
in a
home.
moment.
Close to SES2? Okay. We'll jump back to live then. Yeah, SES2 in a couple minutes over the Indian Ocean. Alright, come back. I'll be back then. Actually, it's just a couple minutes away, so I'll just shut my mic off for a second. Did you see that shot of Earth? That was great. Let's go back a couple. Let's go back a couple seconds. Oh, look at that. See? Well. Coming up on Miko very shortly. Oh, look at that view of Earth. That's the South Indian Ocean.
Welcome back to the webcast for Starlink. So far we've had a on-time liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle. Our first stage made its way back and landed for its 4th time on, of course, I Still Love You. And second stage is on its nominal
I guess it's the mid-Indian Ocean
trajectory right now. Coming up next we have SES-2 followed immediately by SECO-2, which is second engine cutoff. Now this will be one of the shortest burns of the Merlin vacuum engine that we do. The burn is short because we don't need a big adjustment in the orbit, but a little bit will go a long way here. Now that's coming up here in about 30 seconds. We've got a live view of the second
stage
engine there.
You can see chilling happening right now.
For just 1 second, so it may not look like much, but it will be lasting 1 second.
Okay. Come on. There we go.
And there was our quick SES-2 followed by SECO-2. Now we're just waiting to confirm good orbit.
GNC confirms good insertion accuracy.
There we go.
We just got that call out for good orbit. So now that we are in good orbit, we'll be coasting for the next 15 minutes or so. So we'll be back around T plus 1 hour and 1 minute for payload deploy.
That'll be happening just south of Australia. So 15 minutes. Yay. Going quiet again. Be back in about 15 minutes, I suppose.
NOPS loss of signal expected.
Alright, we'll be coming up on the deploy in a few minutes. I hope you've been enjoying the music, I really do. It's by Test Shot Starfish. I'm not sure what the name of this particular one is, but they have most of their music on the SoundCloud. Excuse me. This will be coming up and deploy on the south side of Tasmania. Oh, by the way, fairing recovery should have happened about 10 minutes ago. So watch for Elon to post about that, probably after the stream is over. We're about 3 minutes out from separation now. From deploy. Deploy is always fun in a Starlink launch. What they basically do is they take the stage, spin it inline, as in around its
Acquisition of signal, Tasmania.
Alright. See, we get video now. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to spin it around this way. I hope they keep it here so you can see the Earth spinning around. That would be cool. But probably not. What they'll do is they'll spin it inline across around its vertical axis, and then they'll release. Oh no, they're not going to do that. No, I forgot. They spin it around its horizontal axis, like this. See, it's spinning like a top around its ends, end over end. Like this end is going this way, the other end is going the other way. And then that will create essentially false gravity on both ends of the stage. And then when the Starlink satellites are released, they'll just kind of just float away. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. Right now they're spinning it up. Oh, I really, this is gonna be so awesome if they manage to keep video.
Welcome back to the webcast for Starlink.
It's going to be
we are getting ready for payload deploy.
It's going to be deploying
now,
in a
the
couple
60
seconds.
Starlink satellites are flatly stacked on top of Falcon 9 for efficiency, so all 60 satellites are going to be released
All 60 celeries.
It's going to look a bit different from other separation sequences you've seen, aside from Starlink, of course. But once released from Falcon 9, the satellites
any minute now.
dispersed.
Any second
They might
now,
even bump
I
into
should
each
say.
other, which is totally okay. They were designed with this in mind.
It's already been spun up. No, no, go back, go back, go back.
So let's wait
Go
till we get
back.
acquisition of signal and watch it live.
Go back. I swear to God, go back.
Tension rods released and payload deployed.
No, come on.
All right, you just heard the call out. Let's wait till we get that video again. There we
There-
go.
There they go.
That's all 60 of those Starlink satellites
See?
on their merry way.
See how cool that is? That's awesome.
Beautiful sight. Just to give you guys an update on the fairing, we didn't catch it this time. We got really close, but we're going to keep on trying again and give you more updates.
I really
as
don't
that
think the
continues.
fairing is going to work.
And with that,
I
that
don't
brings our
think the
web
method
class
they're
to a
using is
close.
very
Thank you
practical
to the 45th Spaceman for
at
race
night,
safety
at
today,
least.
to the FAA for licensing today's launch, and a thank you to the FCC.
I think a better idea
for
is
licensing
to
operations
send out
of these satellites.
send out 2 boats. They
We'd
have
also like to thank
they
all
have
of
a
our
ship that has a
viewers for
helicopter
tuning
pad
in.
on it.
Follow our website and social
And they have
media
the ship with the net
platforms
on
for updates on our next
You use the
missions and
helicopter to catch the
milestones.
parachute
Thanks for
fairing out of the
joining us for
parachute, and
first
then
launch
put
of
it in the net.
2020. And until next time, have a
That's
happy
how I
New
would do
Year.
it. All right. I'd like to keep going, but I don't think I have it in me tonight. Well, they got out of there fast. Okay, so that's gonna be it for me tonight, I think. You know what? Just out of curiosity, let's pop in and see what's going on in the Starship site. Not a whole lot. Looks like they got a crane ready to start stacking some rings, but actually, no. Let's go back and try to watch the. Let's go back and try to watch the deploy again.
So all 60 satellites are going to be released all at once.
Celeries. I
Still
love
a
I
bit
love
different
60
from other
celeries.
separation sequences you've seen, aside from Starlink, of course. But once released from Falcon 9, the satellites will slowly disperse. They might even bump into each other, which is totally okay. They were designed with this in mind. Well, now 67 away from.
Deploy confirmed.
There we go.
You just heard the call out.
We'll get
Let's wait
we'll
till we
get
that
picture in a
video
second.
again.
There we go.
That's all 60 of those Starlink satellites on
Look
their
at that.
merry way.
How cool is that?
It's a beautiful sight. Just to give you guys an update on the fairing, we didn't catch it this time. We got really close, but we're going to keep on trying again and give you more updates as that continues. And with that, that brings our web class to a close.
Web
Thank you
class.
to the 45th Space Wing
That
for
brings
running
my
safely
web
today,
class to a close
to
as
the
well.
FAA for licensing today's launch.
Yeah. I'll do a real stream tomorrow. Or Wednesday. I'll try to do tomorrow, but Wednesday I will for sure. Alright, so whenever I see you again, that'll do it for me tonight. See you then.